Everyone has a story, but not everyone is willing or brave enough to share it. Actually, my story was inspired by my loved ones, from my grandmother, my parents, my twin sister, and my close friend. Since I was a little kid, since I was a little kid, my grandma, whom I called Oma, is the one who loved to share me bedtime stories and fairy tales. Sadly, she passed a couple years ago, but her story stays with me. I remember one specific story she used to tell me. It's about the girl with a golden heart. Growing up, I realized that in every story that she used to tell me, there's a moral lesson in it. Like this girl with a golden heart. It's about a poor girl, an orphan as well, who is struggling to make a living for herself. Yet, she always makes the time to help others in need. One day, she helps an old lady, and she gave her a box full of gold in return. Turns out, that old lady is a fairy godmother. Through her stories, my grandma tried to teach me some lesson. She passed me her experience, her values, and her belief in a way that is relatable and memorable. And I'm much inspired by her. So I love to tell stories, and I hope you can learn from mine too. For most people, my story started when I participated in Asia's Next Top Model Cycle 5 back in 2017. Little did they know, my story has started way before it. It started with my mom, who was an introverted, shy person with multiple talents. But she didn't reach her potential. So she made sure I will. When she had me and my twins Veronica, she started to build our confidence since we were very little. She made us join our very first fashion show when we were just 4 years old. And I was, of course, struggling. But we got through it, though we both lost. Our loss that day was not the end of the story. In fact, it was the start of my modeling journey. Fast forward 20 years later, me and my twins become the first twin to join Asia's Next Top Model. For you who didn't know, I was a die-hard fan of the show, the American Next Top Model, which was hosted by Tyra Banks, and I spent my teenage year binge-watch the show with my friends. But I didn't know that it's possible for me to be on the show. Because I used to get rejections on a casting or on audition. I even have to compete with my own twin sister, who looked exactly like me. So how I can turn my story upside down? From the girl who used to be called model wannabe in junior high school. From the girl who didn't even get a call back from Gadis Sampo. From just a backup model in Jakarta Fashion Week. To be in my dream show, Asia's Next Top Model. The audition was a long process, and it's not easy. I remember one of the hard things is to convince the producer. The interview take not long, but what most interesting for me is she didn't ask much about my experience modeling. On the other hand, she asked more about my background stories and tried to get to know me. So I think, from my setbacks, from my failure before, what can I do differently? I learned one lesson, is to just be myself and not build this kind of wall to protect my image or become someone I'm not. Because that's what I do before. So in the interview, I remember I didn't tell her about how successful I was, but instead I mentioned that actually I had signed up for Asia's Next Top Model Cycle 2, but didn't make it. I had never been on the most prestigious show in my country. And I never been on a magazine cover before. And had no followers either. The funny thing, I got in. Before the show, no one knows, but I was in a difficult situation. I was struggling because of some failures that I have to face. I wasn't successful when I joined two, not one, but two pageants. It's not even as big as Miss Universe. No one of you even know. So I thought I had a real shot, at least to become a top 5. But I didn't make it. And that experience dropped my confidence to the floor because I gave it my all. In the same year, my business also failed because I miscalculated the finance, which led me to a huge debt to a 23 years old. And I thought it would take me forever to be able to pay it back and get back on my feet. And that time, I also couldn't ask for my parents' help because in the same year, my family business also on the edge. I had to sell my car to help out, and we have to move out to save up. And that year, I remember I prayed to God, please, just give me one good thing that year. Finally, I got an email. It's from the Asia's Next Top Model team. The email, it's only asked me to get into the audition. But I can already feel it, that the show is gonna be mine. So finally I know why Michael Margolis says, people don't buy your product. People buy your stories. Only when I was brave enough to embrace and share my stories to the producer and through the world, I can get to where I want and I can stand here today. So, if any of you think that you have to become somebody before you can share your story, what if I tell you, you can become somebody by telling your story? With stories, you can convince people to choose you over anybody else, whether it's for an audition, for a job, or to get into the best school. Storytelling has this tremendous impact to create a market, to brand a product, and to drive social movement. Moreover, it's even more possible through digital world, like TikTok or Instagram. Realizing how I can use my platform that I got as the side effect from the show, I decided to create one account. It's called Twins Echo. I use it to continuously post content to raise awareness about plastic pollution and also provide the zero waste kit so people can act on it easily. As I become more aware that we need more people to use their voice and use their platform to stand for what they believe in, I make a plan. How about I join forces and bring more people together to make an impact through social media? Thus, I found Lookats in 2019. Together with my team and partner, we have a mission. And that mission is to support individuals who have a passion to share their knowledge, their creativities, their journey to inspire others. And we try to find someone who also not thinking just to make themselves famous or promoting themselves, but also want to have a social impact. And we also find someone who wants to build communities, create social campaign, and use their voice to advocate for the issues they most related to. Thankfully, I met one person. Her name is Christy Raina. I met her 3 years ago, and at that time, she was a fresh graduate who moved from Kalimantan Timur, her hometown, to Jakarta. At that time, she has a full-time job and only do content creating part-time. She creates beauty content, but what makes her different from the rest was she continuously advocating beauty and diversity and building Team Sawamatang communities. She's the type of person who's not afraid to open up and share about her struggles when she used to get bullied over her dark skin. By sharing her experience, she's able to connect with people in a deeper connection, including me. Today, she has gained 3 times her following and become Putri Indonesia Kalimantan Timur 2023, the favorites, and bought her own house at such a young age. Supporting someone like Chisti is the reason why I built Lookats. And witnessing her transformation is unbelievable. I believe everyone in this room have some setbacks, mistakes, failures. Maybe you failed when you applied to this school at first. Maybe you failed when applying for a job. But I also believe every one of you have some victories. Without knowing it, the story of your life is being written. And you'll never know how much your story would mean to someone or to the world surrounding you. So, embrace your story and be brave enough to share it. Thank you.